Hi, Amy, can you hear us? Hello? Maybe not.
Maybe not. Right now, it should be on. I can text you.
9:58. We got places to be. It's election day.
So she looks at it.
Hello? Hi, Amy, can you hear us?
You're good.
So we need to fix the line so we can hear and they can hear us. She said they can't hear us.
It's a two-way test. I'm messaging the guy in Carson right now to make sure it's
Okay.
does.
She may be talking to somebody too. Vegas, can you hear us?
Vegas, can you hear us?
Yes, we can. Can you hear us? Nope. Hello?
Okay, we can hear you.
Oh,
Like you
great.
can? Okay.
Board has the wrong dialing.
Hello, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
Are we ready to go, Amy?
I'm just
Hello,
waiting.
Governor. This is Cisco. Ford is trying to join, but he has the wrong calling information. So if we can get him the correct calling information.
Cisco, who's trying to join?
The General, Aaron Ford. Aaron Ford.
Okay. All right. Yeah, let's give it a second.
Okay. Who has that calling information?
It's on the agenda here, so let me.
Cisco, where are you located?
In your office? Your conference room?
Stay out of my desk.
I just need a pencil.
And then Aaron's calling in, obviously, on the phone, correct?
Correct.
I just texted him on the agenda here.
And Amy, where are you located?
I'm in Carson City, sir.
Okay.
Not at your desk, so I'm not rummaging through.
I don't know if Ford wanted, I text Joe's. the number on the agenda with the past, they'll probably need
Reach the
that.
bottom.
Cisco, are you in contact with him?
I believe his dad has texted him.
I texted him the number because you said he was.
He
Okay,
apologizes for the delay, he said.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get started,
Okay.
and then you can chime in if needed, or has the ability to at any point. All right. Well, let's call to order the State of Nevada Board of Examiners meeting scheduled for today, June 11th, 2024 at 10 a.m. And we'll kick it off with roll call. Ms. Stevenson.
Governor Lombardo,
Present.
Secretary of State Aguilar,
Here.
Attorney General Ford. Let the record reflect we have a quorum, sir.
Very well. So we'll move on to the first opportunity for public comment, and stand by while I read the narrative associated. The first public comment period is limited to comments on items on the agenda. No action may be taken upon a matter raised under this public comment period unless the matter itself has been specifically included on the agenda as an action item. I will limit the comments to 3 minutes. If you desire to call in, that phone number is 775-321-6111. When prompted, please use the ID number of 345-467-632#. And it'll give you directions if you call in, and it's *5 to unmute in order to participate. So do we have any public comment there in Carson City?
Yes, sir, we have one.
Is it in person?
Caller ending in number 34, are you calling for public comment?
I think that's. No, he's not there.
Phone number ending in 34, are you calling for public comment?
Okay, sir, we have one at the table. Would you like me to have them go ahead?
Yes, please.
There we go. It turned green, not red. All right, start over here again then. Good morning. My name is Dr. Chad Kingsley, District Health Officer representing Northern Nevada Public Health. I'm 4 weeks into my new role, and it is an honor to be here today in front of the Board of Examiners with many of my public health colleagues throughout my home state of Nevada. Last week, I attended the State Board of Health. Wild Mustangs grazed out front when I arrived, and a nearby gun range pop-pop sounds rang out. I grew up singing Home Means Nevada, and at that moment, it felt like Nevada was saying welcome all over again. I come before you today urgently advocating for public health funding, a critical need that legislative passing of SB 118 has underscored. Northern Nevada Public Health is in strong support of items 35 to 39, which will provide the much-needed financial resources for public health services across the state. I wanted to take the opportunity to thank the governor and his office for their foresight in identifying a dedicated funding stream for public health services in his 3-year strategic plan. Public health servants diligently responded to the pandemic.
Hi, everyone. I'm so sorry.
And as things continue to normalize, we can easily forget about the public health's crucial role in prevention. With over 13 years in public health, 10 of them in Nevada, I can say public health is so much more than a pandemic. It drives economies through a strong and healthy workforce, provides longevities to individuals and families, safeguards educational institutions, and fills the gaps until nonprofits and socially conscious for-profit institutions take the lead. I applaud Governor Lombardo and his staff's investment in public health for Nevada citizens, businesses, and education, and say thank you. The funding on the agenda provides for mandated and essential services throughout the state. This first step can lead to ongoing sustainable funding that will provide public health resources to rural counties, such as environmental health and chronic and communicable disease prevention, resources that rural counties can use to develop their infrastructure in a customizable approach, enabling them to thrive independently while alleviating the state health system to better focus on statewide initiatives. Counties in the state can then create synergistic, successful approaches by leveraging funding resources. It is heartening to see the collective efforts of Nevada public health stakeholders. Together, we are working towards a fiscally conservative and achievable future for when SB 118 funding ends. We aim to establish a base funding formula for each county and our tribal partners, ensuring a viable public health framework that protects, preserves, and promotes the health, longevity, and economy of Nevada. We're available for questions. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Kingsley, and welcome back to Nevada. And if you wouldn't mind sticking around, because the contracts that you mentioned, 35 through 39, I will have questions later for that. So thank you. Do we have any other further comment there in Carson City?
Not in Carson City, sir.
And General Ford, did I hear that you chimed in?
Yes, sir. I'm in. I'm sorry for the delay.
No issue, no issue. Let the record reflect that General Ford has arrived and on the phone. We have any public comment there, Mr. Aguilar in Las Vegas?
Any public comment? No, sir.
All right. Do we have any online or on the phone?
No, sir. No, we don't.
All right. We'll close the public comment section, item number 2, and move on to item number 3, approval of the May 14th, 2024 meeting minutes. Do any board members have any, hold on, for instance, do any board members have any questions or concerns? Hearing none, did I hear a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes from May 14th.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. All right, we'll move on to agenda item number 4, state vehicle purchases for possible action. Ms. Stevenson.
Thank you, sir. There are 2 requests under agenda item number 4. Please note the first request from the Department of Business and Industry Housing Division has been withdrawn. The second request is from the Nevada Peace Officer Standards and Training. The division requests approval to purchase 4 replacement vehicles for a total amount not to exceed $18,742. Are there any questions on this item, sir?
Do you have any questions?
No questions.
All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. And we'll close item 4 and move to 5, authorization to contract with a current and or former state employee for possible action. Ms. Stevenson. We could take them together as a group.
Thank you, sir. Just about to ask. There are 2 requests under this agenda item. The first request is from the Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Child and Family Services through the Department of Administration, Purchasing Division. The department intends to contract with a former employee from July 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024 on a part-time basis through Marathon Staffing Group. The second request is from the Secretary of State's office through the Department of Administration, Purchasing Division. The department intends to contract with a former employee from June 12th, 2024 through September 6th, 2024 on a part-time basis through Manpower. Are there any questions on any of these items?
We have any questions?
No questions.
None here. Move approval.
All right. No questions. We have a motion on the table for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. So just for clarification, General Ford, that was for both 5A and B?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Motion passes. We will close 5, move to 6. Request for the allocation and disbursement of funds for salary adjustments for possible action. I believe we have, bear with me, folks, 15 requests. Is that correct, Ms. Stevenson?
Yes, sir, that is correct. Would you like them all together or would you like them separate?
Together, unless any other members have a problem with it for questions.
Nope. Altogether is fine with me.
Perfect.
Likewise.
Please
All right.
Please bear with me. This is a lot. 15 is a lot. So the 2023
We'll get through it.
The 2023 legislature, through Assembly Bill 522, made appropriations from the general fund and the highway fund to the Board of Examiners to meet salary deficiencies that may be created between the appropriated money of the state's respective departments, commissions, and agencies, and the salary requirements for the personnel of those departments, commissions, and agencies. Request A is from the Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Public and Behavioral Health, in the amount of $957,740 for salary increases for its sworn positions. Request B is from the Department of Public Safety, Investigation Division, in the amount of $13,859 in general funds and $1,234 in highway funds for the plan to encourage continuity of service. Request C is from the Nevada Gaming Control Board in the amount of $152,334.51 for the plan to encourage continuity of service. Request D is from the Nevada Gaming Control Board, Nevada Gaming Commission in the amount of $337.38 for the plan to encourage continuity of service. Request E is from the Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Public and Behavioral Health, in the amount of $4,769,210 for salary increases. Request F is from the Department of Public Safety, Director's Office, in the amount of $43,598 for salary increases. Request G is from the Department of Corrections in the amount of $15,432.91 for salary increases. Request H is from the Department of Education in the amount of $132,143 for salary increases. Request I is from the Department of Health and Human Services, Division of Public and Behavioral Health, in the amount of $1,026,008 for salary increases. Request J is from the Department of Public Safety, Investigation Division, in the amount of $181,977 in general funds and $75,570 in highway funds for salary increases. Request K is from the Nevada Board of Parole Commissioners in the amount of $15,042 for salary increases. Request L is from the Nevada Gaming Control Board, Nevada Gaming Commission, in the amount of $10,447.19 for salary increases. Request M is from the Nevada Gaming Control Board in the amount of $693,253.43 for salary increases. Request N is from the Nevada System of Higher Education in the amount of $3,453,530 for salary increases. And Request O is from the Tahoe Regional Planning Agency in the amount of $313,571 for salary increases. Are there any questions on any of these items?
Do we have any questions?
No questions.
Mr. Ford, do you have any questions? Okay,
I don't. If you motion, I'll give you one.
absolutely, go ahead.
All right, I move for approval.
Is that sufficient?
Yes, sir, I believe it is.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm sure you're that. All right. Well, I'm glad that you didn't have to identify each one of those, so that helps us. So we have a motion for approval for agenda item number 6. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Good job on that, Amy.
Thank you, sir.
All right. We'll move on to. Did somebody have something to say?
No, sir.
Okay. We'll move on to agenda item number 7, request for a recommendation of approval for the interim finance committee for an allocation amount from the contingency account for possible action. Ms. Stevenson.
Thank you, sir. There are 3 requests under agenda item number 7 today. Would you like them together or separate, sir?
Any board member have any issue with taking them together?
None at all.
Works for me.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Stevenson.
Sounds good. The first request is from the Department of Business and Industry, Office of Nevada Boards, Commissions, and Council Standards. Pursuant to NRS 353.268, the department requests a recommendation to the Interim Finance Committee for an allocation of $218,889 for the Interim Finance Committee contingency account to support 1 deputy director position and associated costs. The second request is from the Department of Corrections. Please note the requested amount in this item has been revised from $3,938,502 to $3,119,234. Pursuant to NRS 353.268, the department requests a recommendation to the Interim Finance Committee for an allocation of $3,119,234 from the Interim Finance Committee contingency account to cover costs associated with increased utility costs for electricity, natural gas, and water sewer. The third request is from the Department of Public Safety, Nevada Highway Patrol Division. Pursuant to NRS 353.268, the division requests a recommendation to the Interim Finance Committee for an allocation of $165,207 from the Interim Finance Committee contingency account to cover costs associated with providing dignitary protection to visiting dignitaries. Are there any questions on any of these items?
Could you just repeat the amount? I'm sorry.
Go ahead. That's what I was going to ask. Go ahead.
Yeah, could you repeat the amount under item B?
I'm sorry, sir. Do you want me to repeat all 3 of them or just which one?
No, just item B. Item B.
The second one, okay. The second request is from Department of Corrections. Please note the requested amount in this item has been revised from $3,938,502 to $3,119,234. The department requests a recommendation to the Interim Finance Committee for an allocation of $3,119,234 from the Interim Finance Committee contingency account to cover costs associated with increased utility costs for electricity, gas, and water sewer.
I'm just wondering if you have a notation as to why the amount has been decreased by $800,000 on this.
I have a representative from Department of Corrections that can answer that.
Okay.
Good morning, Governor. Deputy Director Shea, for the record. Can you ask your question again, AG Ford, so I can make sure I can answer it appropriately?
Yes, I just wondered what the reason for the decrease in requested amount was.
Yeah, so the reason for the decrease is primarily when we did the projections about 6 weeks ago, we wanted to make sure, working with the governor's office, that our request was as accurate as possible to minimize our ask from the IFC contingency account. So the request has been edited to have the most up-to-date, accurate projections at this time.
Okay, very well. Thanks so much.
Stand by. So just in furtherance of the general's question, in looking through the documents provided, there's a Excel spreadsheet. Do you have any specific item on that spreadsheet that was adjusted? Or maybe Ms. Stevenson can provide any info on it?
So Deputy Director Shea, for the record, we provided an updated spreadsheet to the governor's finance office. So my hope is that that's the spreadsheet that was included in the packet.
Amy, Ms. Stevenson, I have a different spreadsheet. I have the original amount.
We will double check, sir, to make sure you have the correct one, and then we can answer that question of which specific line item changed or reduced for you. We will get that back to this this board.
Okay. And so, General Ford, are we able to do a motion with what was stated versus what we're seeing for approval?
I believe we can, Mr. Governor.
Yes.
My dad, but we can do that, if that's what your desire is.
Rosalie Bordelove for the
Okay.
record. Since you're adjusting the amount down, you can still approve it based on the new amount. Since you're approving the total amount on there, the total amount, you can approve it based on a lower amount than what's on the agenda.
Okay, very well. All right, with that said, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Governor, I want to be certain I understand what you're requesting. So are you okay with the motion asking for the lowered amount?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I will make a motion to approve these items as amended.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes. We will close item 7, move on to item 8, approval of proposed leases for possible action. Ms. Stevenson.
Thank you, sir. There are 8 leases under agenda item number 8 for approval by the board today. Are there any questions on any of these leases?
None here.
None here.
None.
Move
I'll
approval.
entertain a motion for approval. We have a motion for approval by General Ford. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. We will move on to agenda item number 9, approval of proposed contracts for possible action. Ms. Stevenson.
Thank you, sir. There are 60 contracts under agenda item number 9 for approval by the board. Please note that contract number 3 with the Secretary of State's office and I3 Logics has been withdrawn. So that leaves a total of 59 contracts for the board's consideration today. Are there any questions on any of these contracts?
Yes, I have a question on items, contracts 35 through 39. So I don't know if Dr. Whitley remained and can come to the podium or dais.
Good morning, Governor. My name is Mitch DeValier. I'm the Public Health Infrastructure Manager for the Division of Public and Behavioral Health. I appreciate having the opportunity to answer questions or present information regarding DOE numbers 35 through 39. The Division of Public and Behavioral Health would like to thank Governor Lombardo for signing SB 118 of the 82nd session into law. The allocated funds support Nevada counties in their efforts to improve public health. We would also like to thank the governor for including within his 3-year plan the priority of identifying dedicated funding streams for public health services and his ongoing commitment to health and wellness for all Nevadans. DPBH would also like to thank the Senate Committee on Health and Human Services for sponsoring SB 118 and the Assembly and Senate members who all voted for SB 118. With me here today are representatives from the local health authorities and counties on the agenda today, and they would be available to come up for questioning if needed. With me today is Dr. Darren Winkleman from Central Nevada Health District, Shayla Holmes from Lyon County, Brooke Addy from Douglas County, Aaron Dixon from Northern Nevada Public Health, and Bradley Mayer, I believe, is in the Las Vegas office from Southern Nevada Health District.
Sure, might as well have them all come to the table, and we'll go through it individually. And what I'm interested in is exactly what they believe is the purpose of the money approved and how they intend to spend it and utilize it. And then, you know, and I just appreciate there's several items, so if we could make it a Reader's Digest condensed presentation, I'd appreciate that. So we'll start with agenda item or contract number 35, the Central Nevada Health District.
Mr. Governor, members of the board, for the record, Darren Winkleman with the Central Nevada Health District. Thank you for allowing us to talk a little bit about Senate Bill 118, what this means for a small rural health district in the state of Nevada. As you know, we've just started this health district. We are just going to hit our one-year anniversary July 1st, and we're excited to be out there with our 4 counties and 1 city. This funding is critical for us as Churchill County has been a great partner in this, has purchased a new building for us. Within that building, we're looking at a major remodel, and we are hoping to use this funding to help with some of the infrastructure within that building. So we're looking at new intercommunication, telecommunication systems, IT servers, IT storage. As we've looked, kind of as we have a little bit better idea of what we're doing and how that building is getting built out, we also like the idea of having a little bit of flexibility with this funding as we may use it for other operational purposes as we move forward into the next year. With that, I'll take any questions. Thank you.
Dr. Winkleman, can you identify the 4 counties and the 1 city?
Sure. The 4 counties are Mineral County, Churchill County, Eureka, Pershing County, and then the city of Fallon.
All right, perfect. Thank you. That's exactly what I was asking for. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And we'll move on to 36 with Douglas County.
Hi, good morning, and thank you for allowing me the opportunity to come to the table and talk with you about the public health funds. Thank you to the governor and staff for allocating these funds to the counties to put a real focus on public health in the communities to meet the community's needs. We appreciate the opportunity to take a real focus on what the needs are in Douglas County, and we intend to use these funds to help access to healthcare for special populations. We think that this is a really great opportunity to be engaging with some of our special populations within the community and help them access healthcare. We intend to contract with a community health worker to help people get enrolled in healthcare and also find appropriate healthcare providers to meet their needs. Thank you, and we look forward to working with you as we move forward.
Could you state your name for the record?
Sorry, my name is Brooke Addy, and I am the Community Services Director.
Thank you, Brooke. Appreciate that. And then we'll move on to 37 with Mr. Holmes. Lyon County.
Excuse me. Thank you. Dr. Shayla Holmes, for the record, Lyon County Human
Oh,
Services
I'm sorry.
Director.
I said Mr. Holmes.
That's A-okay.
Sorry, doctor. I said Mr. Holmes.
We appreciate the opportunity to be able to share what Lyon County's needs are here today and the opportunity to be able to utilize these funds to help our community and aid our overall community's health. The most recent Community Health Needs Assessment Lyon County conducted via contract with Social Entrepreneurs, Inc. identified a critical issue that the community is unaware of services that are available. There's multiple data points needing attention, such as high premature death rates on our highways, high STI rates, as well as community concerns such as mosquito abatement, and the 4 areas that were identified in Carson City Health and Human Services Health Improvement Plan, which includes Lyon County. With such a broad need and services existing to address these issues, the Lyon County Public and Behavioral Health Task Force identified that a comprehensive professional marketing campaign to be the best strategy to educate the public across the lifespan and across a variety of communication modalities of existing services, as well as strategies individuals can implement to be the best preventative measure to be able to make the biggest impact with these dollars. And again, we appreciate the opportunity.
All right, Ms. Holmes, just a matter of education for all of us and in the future. Do you have ability to provide a report on the success of your education initiative as you work through it?
Absolutely. I believe there's several data points that could be implemented from the beginning to be able to track as far as increased access to existing services and number of individuals seeing posts, if it's via social media, or the number of individuals that identify the way that they learned about our services coming in. So I do believe there's absolutely ways that these outcomes can be proven.
Yeah, because if it's successful, I anticipate the other jurisdictions would like to implement a similar program. So please just coordinate with our Department of Health Services.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. We will move on to contract number 38, Northern Nevada Public Health.
Good morning. For the record, Erin Dixon, Deputy District Health Officer for Northern Nevada Public Health. As my other public health professional coworkers have set up here, we're very grateful for the opportunity to be before you and to discuss this funding. You will see in our proposal, we have a wide variety of topics that we are addressing. We have done multiple assessments, and we do recognize that we are short-staffed in many areas, and that the COVID pandemic really highlighted some needs we had in disease investigation. However, if you look at all the proposals, we are also focusing on equity through some food cart vending. We also are addressing our West Nile virus and our approach to larvicide treatment in a very responsible public health manner. Vaping prevention is very important. As you may have been aware, our sexually transmitted infections, including syphilis, are rising dramatically. We've had double the number of babies born with syphilis in Washoe County in the past year, and we are losing funding for that. So this is something that will absolutely assist in helping the health of our community. And our immunization biologicals, we have incredible public health immunizations that are improving the health of our community, but they cost money. And so for us to be able to provide them in the community, we are using some of these funds to address that need. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Ms. Dixon, Governor Lombardo, for the record, can you just elaborate a little bit more on the STD issue? I wasn't aware of that, and I don't know if you said in your comments that, as you are aware, I wasn't.
Oh.
And so maybe we need to do a better job of communicating something of that significance.
Absolutely. We will be happy to get you information. For the rates I was talking about with our congenital syphilis, last calendar year, we had 22 babies born in Washoe County with congenital syphilis. The year prior to that, we had 12, which was our highest rate ever. And now we are, as of today, we have 10 so far this year. So we are working very diligently with medical providers and others in the community, as it is very treatable if caught early enough. But we will be happy to share all of our sexually transmitted infection information with you.
So, Ms. Stevens, I don't know if Mr. Mayor's there, or is he in Las Vegas?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Brad, do you have the similar situation there in Clark County?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, obviously it's a big issue, so I appreciate your time, Ms. Dixon. Brad, we'll move on to you, contract number 39.
Great. Thank you, Governor. And thank you for signing SB 118. SB 118 with me today is Ed Winder, who's the Associate General Counsel of the Southern Nevada Health District. But SB 118 was really the culmination of a years-long effort to take a step forward into sustainable, ongoing, non-categorical public health funding. So much of what happens in public health is that we have grants coming and going and funding coming and going, and so we're constantly having to build programs up and go away when that funding goes away. And so this funding across the state provides a real ability to address current public health issues, foundational public health issues, in a way that can help us build something sustainable for the state of Nevada. So I want to turn over to Ed Winder to address some of the other questions regarding our item.
Thank you, Bradley. This is Edward Winder, Associate General Counsel for the Health District. Thank you, board members, for letting us be here. I'd like to start off by just sending the regrets of Dr. Leguen and our senior leadership. They would otherwise be here to answer your questions, but they are meeting with the CDC Director Cohen today to talk about harm reduction and some other really important public health issues. Of course, otherwise they would be here. Building on what Bradley mentioned, we identified 4 main categories of priorities: disease surveillance and control. And as mentioned, those STIs are one of those big categories, especially congenital syphilis. This money is going to be used to identify folks that have this, identify STIs through surveillance. It's also going to build up our lab capacity so that we can expand and upgrade our equipment and more quickly and better identify contagious disease in our community. And then it's also going to help us in our field work, reaching out to those folks. Right now, we're just unable to get to everyone we need, especially as it relates to congenital syphilis. This funding is going to allow us to branch out beyond pregnant women, and hopefully could get this before pregnancy and then also assist after birth as well. So the health district also is going to identify access to care in underserved communities as another way to use this money. This includes developing a dental clinic and also getting out to the field. And when the health district did its community health assessment, what we heard is that there's a lot of difficulty with transportation. Folks just have a hard time getting to care. And so this is going to include money for a mobile van to get out and provide basic wound care, to provide basic STI treatment, to provide basic nursing assessments, and really get to folks that would just otherwise not be able to get to us. This money is also going to be used to address the opioid epidemic and youth smoking. That money, especially money for youth smoking, the funding source that we had before has gone away, but for this funding, we would not be able to continue that work. Adults who smoke, 80% of them start smoking before they're 18, and so reaching out to the youth is just vital. This money is going to be really helpful in letting us do that. And lastly, we have outreach to at-risk communities. Right now, advertising, campaigns, activities, this money is going to be used to broaden that reach and to reach out in the community farther than we were able to before. And with that, we're happy to answer any questions.
All right, thank you. I do have a couple questions. For just a matter of the record, I want to provide clarification. I think I said earlier STD and it being SDI. So thanks you for that change. But Ed, a couple questions. The dental clinic, can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
Right. So dental health has been identified more and more as a problem in underserved communities. Dental health problems. What this means is we're going to be able to build out a 4-chair clinic. We're going to hire a dentist, a hygienist, and 2 dental assistants. And we believe at this point that after the 2 years of funding, we'll be able to use existing revenue from that clinic to continue operations. And dental health has kind of been, historically treated as an aside, but really is an essential aspect of overall human health. It results nationwide in billions of dollars of economic loss from people missing work. And dental care isn't something you could walk into an ER and get. And so there are people in underserved communities that are suffering, that are missing work, that are just not fully productive. and suffering because of this. And our hope is that this clinic will help alleviate that and prevent problems.
All right, that's fantastic. And then the other question is, you mentioned opioid. I don't know if it was education or remediation or prevention and versus smoking money. Which program has run out of money? Smoking or the opioid?
So it's the youth smoking funding.
Okay.
There's
no issue with the opioid funding?
Well, this funding is going to expand on what we have to allow us to do more work. Of course, money is always one of the limiting things. So the opioid issue is one that we've identified. So we want to expand the resources we're putting at that. But it was the smoking money that went away.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Do we have any other questions from any other board members on any particular contract?
No questions, sir.
This is Aaron Ford. Governor, if you allow me a couple of minutes here. Let me first commend the legislature and you, Governor, for signing this bill. This public health stuff is very important, and I'm happy to see that this board is going to be entertaining. I obviously will be supporting this. I suspect all of us will. This public health stuff is very important, and again, want to commend the legislature for passing it in the first instance, and you, Governor, for supporting it. Speaking of public health, I want to also highlight another contract, contract number 2, which is money that my office is going to receive, $360,000, to provide education and training to the public on the use of extreme risk protection orders, otherwise known or commonly known as red flag laws. This law was passed, I want to say, a few sessions ago. Sandra Howdeggy, kudos to her for sponsoring this bill. But this contract is going to allow our office to, as I've indicated, offer some education and training to the public on how to use red flag laws in order to enable us to lower gun violence in our state, but also aid in the public health components that we're talking about now. So I felt it necessary to highlight that contract, to highlight Sandra Howdeggy for sponsoring it, and to highlight my office, particularly Teresa Benitez Thompson, who's going to be helping to organize efforts in this educational component. And so, again, I want to thank everyone for their work in that regard, and I highly encourage this board to support that contract as well.
Oh, awesome. Thanks for that, General. I appreciate your comments on that. Any other comments or questions? All right, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Move approval, minus 3.
Yeah.
So minus number 3 for a total of 59, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, we have a motion. Everybody, hold on a second. I just want to make sure my notes are right. All right, everybody in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank everybody for your presentations on that. Motion passes, and I appreciate your education on those particular items. With that said, we'll close agenda item number 9, move to 10, approval of proposed master service agreements for possible action. Ms. Stevenson.
Thank you, sir. There are 12 master service agreements under agenda item number 10 for approval by the board today. Are there any questions on any of these master service agreements?
None here.
No questions here.
None here. Move approval.
All right, we have a motion for approval. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We'll move on to agenda item number 11, informational only item, clerk of the boards of contracts. Ms. Stevenson.
Thank you, sir. There are 52 contracts over $10,000 and under the $100,000 threshold that were approved by the clerk of the board between April 17th, 2024 through May 21st, 2024. This item is informational. Are there any questions on any of these contracts?
None here.
No questions.
All right, with no questions, informational item, we will close item number 11 and move to 12, information item reports out of the Governor's Finance Office Budget Division. Ms. Stevenson.
Thank you, sir. There are 3 reports under this agenda item today. The first report is from the Governor's Finance Office Budget Division. Pursuant to NRS Chapter 353, the Governor's Finance Office Budget Division presents a reconciled fund balance report for the Tort Claim Fund, Statutory Contingency Account, Stale Claims Account, Emergency Account, Disaster Relief Account, IFC Unrestricted Contingency Funds, and the IFC Contingency Fund as of May 21st, 2024. The following is the available balance for each account prior to any projected outstanding claims. The Tort Claim Fund is $1,876,862.76. Statutory Contingency Account is $5,982,231.71. Stale Claims Account is $3,798,182.95. Emergency Account is $500,000. Disaster Relief Account is $12,020,458.47. IFC Contingency Unrestricted General Fund is $16,474,977.72. IFC Contingency Unrestricted Highway Fund is $1,184,685.35. IFC Contingency Restricted General Fund is $166,381,382, and IFC Contingency Restricted Highway Fund is $27,384,820. Was there any questions on this first report?
Do we have any questions?
No questions. None
All
here.
right. Thank you, Ms. Stevenson. Appreciate that presentation. And we will move on to the second opportunity of public comment. Please limit your comments to
Sir.
3 minutes.
I have
Oh,
2 more
I'm
reports.
sorry.
I'm sorry, sir. That was just the first of 3.
Oh, you know what? Okay, I got it because it goes on to another page.
It
Sorry
was a
about that.
mouthful. I'm sorry. I had to break it up. So, okay.
Oh, I
this-
understand it. My page was on the backside. So, yeah, we have an ABC for item number 12. Go ahead with 12B.
Thank you, sir. The second report is from the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, Divisions of State Lands, fiscal year 2024, third quarter. Pursuant to NRS 321.5954, subsection 4, the State Land Registrar is required to provide the Board of Examiners quarterly reports regarding lands or interests in lands transferred, sold, exchanged, or leased under the Tahoe Basin Act program. This report covers the period of January 1st, 2024 and March 31st, 2024. If there are no questions, I can move on to item C.
None
No
here.
questions.
Perfect. The third report is from the Governor's Finance Office Budget Division, statewide quarterly overtime report, fiscal year 24, third quarter. Pursuant to NRS 284.180, the Department of Administration, Division of Human Resource Management must prepare and submit quarterly to the Budget Division of the Office of Finance a report regarding all overtime worked by employees of the Executive Department during the quarter. The Budget Division shall transmit quarterly to the Board of Examiners the report and the analysis of the Budget Division regarding the report. The Budget Division submits this third quarter overtime report and analysis for fiscal year 2024. These items are informational, and are there any questions on this report?
None here.
No questions here. Cisco, did you have any questions?
No questions. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Stevenson. Appreciate that presentation. Do you have any further?
Nope, that was it. Thank you, sir.
And thank you for providing those graphs as part of the overtime report. That's very beneficial. And then, so we'll move on to, I'm sorry. We'll move on to agenda item number, we're playing phone tag here. We'll move on to agenda item number 13, the second opportunity for public comment. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Do we have anybody there in Carson City?
I don't have anyone in Carson City, but we need to check. There's someone on the phone that we don't know who it is, so we need to check who that is on on Teams.
Okay, yes, let's do that.
Phone number ending in 34, are you calling in for public comment? Press *6 to unmute yourself.
I believe it's *5, isn't it?
Well, they decided when we said that they came off the line, so I guess not.
Okay. Anybody there in Las Vegas, Mr. Aguilar?
Anybody for public comment? No, sir.
All right, we'll check one more time online or on the phone.
No, sir.
All right, we'll close second opportunity for public comment and move for adjournment. So moved. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Hi.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate your time. Sorry about
Thank you.
having to play the phone. Sorry about the phone conference issue. So,
You guys, in part of your mission, need PPE, gloves, masks, gowns.